Hey there, it's Diane Forster, and welcome to I Have Today, where we talk about the art of intentional living. And wow, do I have a show for you today. So, what if you were one hypnosis away from a totally different life? What if somebody had the key to unlock the combination of what's keeping you stuck? Well, today my guest is Jim Lutes, and he is a motivational speaker, human mind expert, persuasion influence expert, CEO of Motion Academy, and a world renowned hypnotist. Now, you guys know I always bring it. I bring the best of the best always. And today I'm so honored to have Jim here in the studio with me. He's going to be joining me in just a few minutes. So buckle up, get ready, ping a few friends, and join us because Jim is going to share his story, how he got into this industry. Over 30 years, he's been changing the lives of so many people, having them live to unlimited potential. Major corporations, individuals, celebrities, athletes, you name it. And as someone who is such a student of this work, and I love this work so much, you know, I bring you amazing people. When I discovered Jim, or actually Jim discovered me, we just kind of discovered each other, which we'll share that story when he comes on. I knew I wanted to bring him to you and have him on the show so he can share his brilliance and his wisdom with you. So make sure you stay tuned today. Stay for the whole show because I always end every episode with a live mantra meditation incorporating everything that we talk about so that you can leave this show feeling better at the end than you did at the beginning. So again, Jim Lutes is coming on in just a few minutes. Now, before we get into the show, I wanted to tell you today's theme. Our show is called Unlock Your Mind with Hypnosis. So we're going to talk about what is hypnosis and why does it work so well? And it doesn't work that well. You know, not all hypnotists are good. In fact, I've had my share of bad hypnotist experiences, but not Jim. So we're going to talk about that. And then I want to share our intention statement. We always do an intention statement here at I Have Today. And this week's intention statement is I have today to unlock my mind from what's holding me back. I have today to unlock my mind from what's holding me back. And so, what we do with our intention statements is every single week on Instagram at Diane Forster Official, hop on over to my page over there. Give me a follow while you're there. My amazing team makes these gorgeous graphics. And what I want you to do is when you go over to my page, click that little button that says wallpapers. And when you click it, what you're going to see come up are all the wallpapers. So every week we have it there. And I want you to take a screenshot of that and use it as your screensaver on your phone so that every time you look at your phone, you see this mantra. You see this intention, you see this affirmation, because you know how change happens. One of the ways is through repetition. And you look at your phone on average about 150 times a day. So if you're seeing, I have today to unlock my mind from what's holding me back, you're creating that awareness. And that repetition will help make that true and make it possible. And I'm sure Jim's got a whole lot to say about that. So that's what I want you to do. So put that there. All right. So now I just want to give you some updates on what's going on here at I Have Today. My gosh, you guys, it's almost mid-November already here in the United States. We are, well, it's mid-November everywhere, but we are in the holiday season already. I was out in my town this weekend and already all the Christmas decorations are up and the Christmas music is playing already. And so we're in the full swing of the holidays already. Can you believe how fast this year went by? Well, I just can't believe it. And so I don't know if you're into astrology, but we have a new moon tomorrow on 11/8. That's supposed to be really powerful. And then the 11/11 portal on Friday is also super powerful. So if you're into that and you want to intend things, you want to manifest things, you want to create things in your life, utilize every imaginable tool possible, which I think we had that as an intention statement a couple of weeks ago. Tap into everything that's available to you. You know, science and spirituality work together beautifully, right? So, what I did this weekend is I grabbed my journal and my beach chair and I went down to the beach in the middle of the day on the weekend on Saturday. And it was gorgeous here. It wasn't like layout weather, but I wasn't there for that. I really just wanted to reflect on the year so far and take a look at what I wanted to create between now and the end of the year and what I want to create for next year. And it was really a magical experience. And so it was like an hour or two that I was away doing that. But I want to invite you to do that in your life too. Stop and reflect on everything that you've accomplished this year. Take a look at everything. And I'm talking the good and the bad. It doesn't all have to be the sunshine and roses, but there's value in every single experience that you have. But if you leave your life up to happenstance and it's not coming from you, you're not creating it, it's going to happen to you. Things are going to happen to you. Your energy is going to get sucked away from you. So I wanted to share that with you today because I went back and I took my journal with me, not only just to write in it, but to read through it. And I was saying to myself, oh my God, that happened. Oh my God, that happened. Oh my God, that happened. And now would those things have happened? Maybe, but probably not. But because I put my focus and attention, they did. And so that's my invitation to you. That's my sort of manifestation moment for you for today. I'm not going to share an actual story with you today because I want to get Jim out here as soon as possible and use all this amazing time we have together for him. But where could you be more intentional in your life? Look back at everything you've done so far this year with honor and pride and intend your future going forward. All right. So now we're going to bring Jim on in just a second, but let's hear a word from our sponsor first, the Spifter. This week's episode of I Have Today is brought to you by the Spifter. The Spifter is a fun sifting spoon that makes cooking, baking, and decorating with sugars and spices so much fun. No more mess or wasting your spices. It's fast, clean, and easy. Everything looks and tastes delicious. It's also great for straining loose tea, getting pesky broken cork out of your wine glass, and draining liquid off food like olives and capers. Whether you're a novice cook or a gourmet chef, you'll love the results. The Spifter, the kitchen gadget that no kitchen should be without. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Diane. How you doing?
I'm doing so great. It's so great to have you here.
Well,
welcome.
I'm honored. Thank you. I'm honored and blessed, and I'm a big fan, by the way.
Oh, thank you. Well, likewise. Back at you. So, all right, let me tell the audience a little bit about you before we get into our conversation, all right? So, if you want more out of your life and your relationships, the secret is not doing more, but being more. Unfortunately, most of us don't know how to control and reprogram our thoughts, patterns, and behavior, and we succumb to self-destructive and self-sabotaging states. Jim Lutes is one of the most successful experts in the world on how to reprogram the software that runs on a daily basis. As a motivational speaker, hypnotist, successful entrepreneur, and mind programming expert, the tactics and strategies he has developed has assisted corporations and individuals to perform and live at a new level of existence. His training corrects the problems of wrong thinking and habits that may literally be robbing you of joy, companionship, health, and profits. Based in beautiful San Diego, like me, Jim has attracted executives, athletes, and other elite top performers who know that working from the inside out is paramount to their success in all areas. Wow, Jim. So impressive. So
yeah, I've been around for a long time. So.
Wow. How can that be? What are you, 30?
Yeah.
Well, so I know you were born and raised in San Diego, correct?
Yes, downtown they call me the unicorn because anywhere I go to any establishment, they say the unicorn is here because they rarely meet anybody born here, raised here, and still here.
Yes. So where'd you grow up?
I grew up in a little town that you might be familiar with. If you threw a baseball, you'd probably hit it. It's called Encinitas up in North County. I was born and raised walking to Moonlight Beach when I was 10 years old.
Amazing. Yeah. When I first moved here, I lived in Encinitas. It's an amazing beach town. All right. So how did you get into hypnosis, mind work, personal development, persuasion, NLP? How did this happen for you?
Yeah, as you know, and you so eloquently stated in the beginning intro that you can either assume things happen by circumstance, or you can assume that you somehow aligned those prerequisites to occur. So I sat down at a different beach, Pacific Beach, one time when I was in my 20s, and I met this gentleman. He was an old guy. He was like 40, and so I met him, and he said to me, he was an entrepreneur, and I didn't really know what that was, to be honest with you. It wasn't used as prolifically as it is now. And he said, well, I learned a long time ago that you need a degree to work for the company, but you don't need a degree to own it. And that was a real epiphany for me, because my dad was a business guy and my brother was a PhD, and it just completely shattered. So I said, what do I do if I want to go down that road? And he said, well, before you even decide on the destination, you need to build yourself up here. So hence, the Think and Grow Rich, the Magic of Believing, the Psycho-Cybernetics by Maxwell Maltz, on and on, Science of Getting Rich, Wallace Wattles. So all of the classics I started to devour, and I liked reading, and I'm very disciplined, fortunately. And then serendipitously, I went to Del Mar to a party, believe it or not. And there was a hypnotist there. It was like a birthday party, and he was there, doing some funny things. And he started talking about the subconscious mind, and I ran a parallel between that and everything I was reading. But now I saw it demonstrated versus just reading about this superfluous, thing. And I saw it, and I was just blown away by what he could do with people. And that was the moment I said, hey, that's what I'm going to do the rest of my life. Fortunately, I'm a little OCD. So I said, I'm doing it. Now, where do you learn it? And he goes, some people teach it. Not that many back then. And I go, who's the best in the world? And he referenced a gentleman in Los Angeles and who hypnotized Sylvester Stallone prior to the Rocky movies. And so I drove up, I met this individual, and I begged him. And then after I got done begging him, I begged him some more to take me on as a private student. He liked that assertiveness, and so he did. So he goes, will you drive up every weekend for 3 months? I said, I will camp out on your doorstep if you will teach me. And so he did. And then he said, Jim, and you alluded to this as well. He said, Jim, you are a natural at hypnosis. And I said, well, thank you. And he goes, but you suck. I go, what do you mean I suck? What do you mean? He goes, you can teach a golf swing or salsa dancing in a weekend, but you're no good at it till you do it thousands and thousands of times. So as it applies to hypnosis, introvert, extrovert, old, young, male, female, left brain, right brain. So I went out to this town called Carlsbad. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I live there.
And I went down to the Carlsbad Inn there on the beach, and I walked in. I be an entertainment director here, and this guy walks out, and I go, hi, I'm a hypnosis expert. I'd like to do a demonstration on Monday nights for all of your timeshare residents. And he goes, we don't pay for that. I go, no, I'll do it for free. So they would put 40 to 50 people in the room every Monday night at Carlsbad Resort there. And I was hyperventilating in the parking lot, walking around going, oh my God, so I was just starting out. I would go in there and practice and fail and practice and fail and practice and fail until I finally, found out how to up level the deficits I had in certain attributes or skill sets in hypnosis. And then I got really good. So embarked on a career. You kind of have two lanes you can go down in the hypnosis world. One, you can go down the entertainment lane, the comedy clubs or the grab parties or the county fairs, et cetera. Nothing wrong with that. But I came from the personal development interest. So I pivoted and went straight down the personal development lane because I love that industry. And I think that I can bring something that harbors a unique skill set versus a theory.
Yes. It's so fascinating. And how old were you when you were practicing and failing, practicing and failing? Like, how long did you do that?
I did that. You're always practicing and failing, but I did
Well,
that. I was 28.
oh, wow. That's so great. So young,
Yeah,
so
2 years ago.
determined.
Remember what you just said? Let's not forget what we just said. That was 2 years ago, right?
Right. But I love the persistence and the perseverance and the dedication to it. That's amazing. Truly amazing. So then what did you do? How did you let's talk about Lutes International, your company. When did you create that? And talk about what it is.
Yeah, so I created it then at that point in time. I rented an office in Del Mar off Via de la Valle there behind that gas station up on the hill. And that's the where Lutes International was born. And of course, in those days, or nowadays even, you were more around the hypnotherapist, smoking, weight loss, confidence, skin conditions, those types of things, the private client environment. But I come from being a musician. And so you're either a studio musician or you're a performing musician. And I like the stage. I like the performance. I like doing seminars, events, masterminds more than I did, the private client. So I grew the business from there organically, coupled with a lot of speaking engagements, which I like to do. So I migrated almost entirely over to that. And then in those days, not to date myself, but in those days, there weren't a lot of us in San Diego. Now San Diego's kind of the mecca. There was me and Tony and Brian Tracy and Dennis Waitley and some others that were down here doing it. So I kind of grew up watching the industry blossom, and especially with the integration of online and the internet blossom into what it is. But as long as you're bringing value, and as long as you're bringing value, and you can go to sleep knowing that I made my income by giving. I didn't make my income by taking. I'm doing something for someone, not to someone. And if you're able to operate under that construct, then you're able to create a company that has longevity because your heart's in the right place. And certainly, we all want a profitable company, but you're able to do that, and that resonates with people. People aren't ignorant walking around all the time. They can know if they don't mind, you being the catalyst to get them to where they want to go, as long as you're doing it for the right reasons and the right intention.
I agree with that so much. And I think you can really tell, and it happens through, trial and error and experience too. When you meet somebody who's the real deal, and it comes off as really, from a giving heart, truly from the heart, but also with a level of confidence that, I know I can help you. Do you want the help? Is sort of the attitude. And, you mentioned all of those other people, but they are not hypnotists. They're not doing what you're doing. That makes you really unique, Jim, in that space, right? So what do you find most people come to you for?
Well, if I had to distill it down, we can go through all of the other layers, et cetera. But if I had to distill it down, it would be distilled down to fear of criticism and need for approval. Because those are the inhibitors that restrict people from moving forward. I do a program called 60-Second Rapport, and people sign a little agreement before I do it. And I take them out in downtown San Diego. And I say, okay, now the agreement says, of course, we're not going to do anything offensive. But the agreement says, if I tell you to go talk to a person, are you able to talk? And they say, yes. I say, are you able to walk? And they say, yes. I go, okay, I'm going to tell you what to say, nothing offensive. I'm going to tell you what to say. I'm going to point to a person, and you go over and say it. And I don't care if they're a CEO. I don't care if they're a yoga instructor. I don't care if they're an Uber driver. 70% cannot do it. There is an extended hesitation because they pivot back in their head, thinking about what are they going to think about me? What do I say? What if I get judged? What if I get criticized? And so that inherently in the subconscious mind stops the progression in emotions, relationships, finances, and health. Because that process, they have the pure capability of performing the action I asked them to do, but they stopped. And the only reason they stopped is it was in their head. Because we're programmed from an early age to be accepted. So say junior high school, the right the right music, the right crowd, the right friends, the right movies, the right clothing. So we're completely programmed for acceptance. That's why people will get into certain professions, whether that be sales or network marketing or any profession that's not generally embraced as much. They have trouble with it because that need for approval raises its ugly head, and it's on an unconscious level. So the as you probably know, and a lot of your listeners know here as well, you have the conscious mind, then you have the subconscious mind. Okay, a colleague of mine calls it the ant and the elephant. All right, in between is something called the critical factor. And that critical factor, think about it as a bouncer at a nightclub.
Okay.
You're 9 to 12 years old. That bouncer's not there. So you're primarily programmed through authority figure, repetition, and traumatic incident.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll go back and think about those. So about 9 to 12, in comes the bouncer, because now you have enough experience in life. It's exponential to where you now can refute what somebody's telling you because you've been around. You're able to refute that Santa Claus exists, but you're not when you're real young because an authority figure repetitiously told you he does. So here's the problem, though. The bouncer shows up. Everybody's already in the nightclub. The good people, the bad people, the mean people, the nice people, the pretty people, the ugly people, they're all there. So what happens is now we have to move forward with our subconscious / nightclub, and it's in a state of chaos because there's contradictions occurring because they're not there. So what hypnosis does, high-level hypnosis, from somebody like you said that's competent at it, we remove that critical factor and we go in and we leave the patrons that serve the individual in there, and we get rid of all the rest that don't. So now they've got a fluidity moving toward their goals in the 4 primary areas of emotions, finances, health, and relationships. They can move forward in areas without all of the other toxic or polluted things that are in there. So a couple of examples. There's a company called Nike, and they make athletic wear. What's their slogan?
Just do it.
Did you memorize that?
No.
Then get it out of your head. It is impossible for you to remove that out of your head because it was installed through authority figure, Michael Jordan, or a celebrity repetitiously over time. So what else is in an individual's head that they have zero control at getting out? You're not worthy enough. You're not pretty enough. You're not good enough. And that can be that same insidious programming on a negative, in a negative context. Now, conversely, if you take do you have children?
I do.
Okay,
I have 25-year-old twins, son and a daughter.
Ah, well, congratulations. I have none. But if I did have a child, a baby, and I put a tarantula spider on the baby's chest, the baby would play with it. It thinks it's a toy until it gets bit, traumatic incident, or authority figure, don't play with a spider. Don't play with spiders, right? So you know where we live. I live downtown in a high rise.
Yes.
So right now, I'm literally looking at Mexico. Out my window. It's right there. Okay. In Mexico, literally, I could have lunch there in 45 minutes. So in Mexico, an 8-year-old boy is taught, go talk to strangers, go talk to strangers, go talk to strangers. Our life will become better because we talk to strangers.
Yeah.
You take them 45 minutes this way, where I'm at, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers. Now they get thrown into sales or something, and they don't like that profession because it's predicated on talking to strangers. So we have all of this programming that has occurred prior to, those age groups growing up that have a tendency to mitigate or restrict where we really want to go in life. So just think of it, I call it releasing the brakes. You're driving the car with one foot on the brake pedal and one foot on the accelerator, wondering why you're not getting where you want to go faster.
Yeah. Putting on the brakes. That's such a good analogy of it. Because people are trying to go. They are. Oh, that's so good, Jim. So why, how long does it take to reprogram somebody?
Sure. Great question. It could take a matter of an hour. It could take a matter of days or weeks. Think of diabetes, for instance. It is proven that diabetes can literally be reversed by diet. However, how long have you been a diabetic? Are you still sneaking in the candy bars every hour and a half? So the behaviors contribute to the accelerated results, as well as how long has a person been like that. So, if the longer that a idea is held by the subconscious mind, the longer it takes to replace it.
Well, I will tell you, I have one that it comes up over and over again, and I'm not you, believe me, and I'm a student of this, early student of this. I've only been doing what I've been doing for, honestly, I reinvented 7 years ago, and maybe 10 years of awareness. And when I was 8 years old, there's a memory that I have of my dad sitting me down. I lost a library book at the public library. I had to pay $3 to return that book. And he gave me he sat me down at the table and he said, "You see this? It's like throwing this in the trash." It was 3 single-dollar bills. And he motioned and he put him in the trash can, like on top of the trash can. So what do you think got anchored in me that day?
Mm-hmm.
I throw away money.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not good with money. I'm irresponsible. Like, I consciously know this, Jim, and I still have to battle that on a conscious. So I might have to hire you and plug that. But it's, because you're right. As much as we may consciously know, and many people don't. Like, I consider myself an enlightened one. I'm more aware. I'm just more aware.
Sure.
And so they still come up and they still surprise me. So the fact that you are the one like who can unlock the key and slide that thing over and pull all that out is so fascinating. So fascinating. So, all right. Do you ever have fun with it? Like make people cluck like chickens or do any of that? Or are you pretty straight? I mean,
Sure. I've done that on occasion. You want to do it right now?
No,
Okay, so,
I don't want to cluck like a chicken.
Audience out there, please raise your hand if you'd like to see her kick off a Beyonce song right now. So
listen, I'm willing. I'm willing. If you can hypnotize me, as long as you don't make me like strip or do anything, embarrassing. This is a clean rated show.
We'll do it another time. So here's the answer to your question.
We'll have you back.
Yeah, no, we'll do that. Of course, though, I can do that. What I do is much more difficult than that. So I can do that. But for instance, the last time I did a stage show was in Houston right before COVID. A friend flew me in for his convention, his corporate thing, and to break up the monotony of the software convention, he wanted me to do a show on Friday night. So I said, okay, I'll come do it. It's fun for me too. And so I go, anything specific? Because I can do whatever. And I said, anything specific? He goes, well, that guy over there is a jerk. He was a real estate developer out of Houston. I go, well, okay, what? He goes, can you do something with him? Sure. So I get up there. I made him have a baby on stage. Everybody's legs are up in the air. He's screaming at the top, and he gets back to his seat. His wife goes, "You had a baby." He goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." I showed him the video. I'll send it to you. You can look at it.
Wow.
And then downtown, I will occasionally demonstrate with something called instantaneous induction, which takes a lot of practice, like a lot. But once you've been doing this forever. So, for instance, I'll be out, and they'll say, "Oh, you're the hypnotist guy," and I go, "Yeah, okay." And so they'll say, hypnotize somebody. Depending on what I feel like doing, I'll be able to hypnotize somebody in 5 seconds. Done. And out they go. So that's more, there's not a reason for that. It's more of just a demonstration of the mind, but it's fun to be able to do.
Yeah. Oh my God. How fun.
It is fun.
Fun to hang out with. Yeah. So, all right. So Lutes International, you have several companies, and I want to talk about, what Lutes is, but I want to talk about Mind Motion Academy too, because I'm a part of that with you, and that's how we got connected and aligned. And I love the mission that you're up to with it. So, but Lutes International is you've got lots of programs, lots of different things that you do, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lutes International is think of it as an umbrella parent company, and so it primarily it's my speaking engagements, but within that I have different subjects. I teach hypnotic selling, I teach 60-second rapport, I teach subconscious reprogramming, neurolinguistic programming. So depending on what it is, it's disseminated through speaking or a mastermind, but it's pivoting depending on who I'm training. If you're not a salesperson, you wouldn't really need to learn hypnotic selling. So we're able to pivot that. Then I have a book series as well that's all over the world. And then Mind Motion Academy, where that came from was me knowing in the back of my head that an integration of technology would be paramount to what we need to do these days. So you can only reach so many people, similar to what you're doing here. But what I wanted to do was set up something with a multiple talent pool. So we're honored to have you as one of the instructors on Mind Motion Academy. So now you've got instructors that are sharing their knowledge, and that's a wonderful thing. Now you need to understand that people, or I needed to understand that not everybody's like us and being an entrepreneur. They have 30 minutes for a lunch at the factory in Detroit. So how do we reach those people? We reach them right off of this. We reach them through technology with a push of a button that suddenly they have access to courses, trainings like yours that are part of Mind Motion Academy. So currently we have about approximately 40 to 45 instructors in there that cover what your area of expertise is, Diane, to relationships, to mindset, to spirituality. We have everybody in there. And then I said, okay, I need to make this really accessible. So why don't we do this? Why don't we make a subscription model and not look at how much money a person we can make or anybody else? Let's price it for the price of a salad. Price of a salad. So it's $15.99 a month. And God knows that I've spent 6 figures on my own personal development, and you spend a lot of money as well. This is something for the price of a salad. Now, the way I look at this is if you have a little bit of friction in your relationship.
Yes.
Your personal relationship. And so you subscribed to Mind Motion Academy, and all you got was one tip to help that relationship become more harmonious and loving. Would that be worth $15.99? Absolutely. So it's not an entire embrace everything. It's for you to select what area you need help in and do it right off your phone. Do it at your discretion on your timeline, and take, like your course is wonderful. Take that training and start to up level those areas. So I always look at things, if all you got from anything, from your seminars or mine or mastermind, if all you got was this, would it be worth it? If all you got was more confidence for the price of a salad or a margarita, if all you got was more would that be worth it? Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So right size, absorbable, affordable, and then obviously worldwide, because of technology. So we spent over a year in development. I've got a world-class development team on board. Just brought on a new president of the company down here who was CEO of the year in San Diego. And so we've got a solid corporate team and, a mission to take your skills like you and other instructors to right into the homes, right into the lunchrooms, right into where they can access it and have access to becoming a better version of themselves.
Yeah, when you told me about it, I was excited and honored to be chosen and be a part of this because it is so needed. And I think the more we put this type of work into the world and content for people to choose from, because they're seeking it. You know this. That's why you're doing this. They're seeking it. And I love the variety of experts that you've chosen. And I'm excited to do, I've got a course on there, but I know, I'm going to be doing live events and, we're going to be doing things together, which is really, really exciting. So yeah, I'm excited
to have you. And, in the future, we're literally, 30 minutes away. After the first of the year, as we said, we'll discuss doing an event together in San Diego. Relationships, it makes the industry you're in, and I'm in, it's a very fun industry. It's not only rewarding, it's fun. I always compare it to music. Go tell, Aerosmith or Beyonce or Rihanna or Eminem. Go tell these people that they can retire. Artists don't retire. And when you're an entrepreneur, you're a form of an artist. So people say, Jim, when are you going to retire? I have nothing to retire from.
Right.
So this is what I'll do forever. And so when you're able to do that, it's not only monetarily rewarding, but it's also emotionally rewarding as well, as you know.
Yeah, it's so fulfilling. I know people tell me, kind-hearted, well-meaning people say, God, slow down. You work so hard. And I said, it never feels like work to me. Like I'm loving what I'm doing. I'm loving what I'm building. I'm loving what I'm creating. I just, they don't get it. So, yeah, that's amazing. So I have a couple more questions for you, Jim. One is, what do you wish more people knew?
Well, it's almost cliche, but you can say it in different. I just wish that they knew what they were capable of, and not let the restrictions come from society, from groupthink, from authority figures, their parents, and and sometimes it just takes courage to go up against that. I think the fastest way to accelerate is you just got to really do a personal inventory of who you hang around. Because Diane Forster came to me and she goes, "Hey, Jim, I want to tell you something." Yeah, what is it? I'm going to start an earthworm farm and they're going to glow blue. Well, I don't know what you've been smoking. I don't know what you're doing, but, it might be a good idea and I'm willing to listen to it. Whereas other people out there, my parents, for one, they were great parents. I had good parents. But they said, what are you going to be? I go, I'm going to be a hypnotist. Oh, my God. My brother's a PhD and stuff. Oh, my God. Then I bought a house 3 times bigger than theirs. And then it was, I knew you could do it. So it's they're operating within that academic construct and parameters, and they want the best for you. But sometimes you've got to you can still have your friends, but sometimes you got to get around people that there's no chink in their armor for believing in you. Like, I believe in you. I don't care. Don't bet against my friend because you're going to lose. We want to have that conviction and drive and that belief, because the environment is going to just rip that out until you have enough, self-confidence, self-image, and self-esteem to no longer care what people think, right? Back to the 60-second rapport, go talk to that person. Now they're back in their head. Once, I call it cognitive cancer, and it's called doubt. And it's an insidious cognitive cancer. Once doubt gets in, imagine your mind is a gallon of pure spring water. Doubt is like a drop of cyanide. When you drop that poison into the water, you can't filter it out. You can't filter it out. So you've got to make sure that it doesn't get in there in the first place.
That's so powerful. Really, really powerful. So true. And, from a spiritual aspect, I mean, doubt is the thing that stops your manifestations. It's the thing that stops your manifestations, your level of doubt. Yeah. Well, all right. Well, I want to ask you a question that I ask all my guests. And the question is, how do you live the I have today way, which is intentionally? And if you wouldn't mind, please start your sentence with I have today too, like we did, because we collect all of our guests' intention statements. So
I have today to focus on the catalyst for tomorrow. Because if I'm thinking about the past or I'm thinking about the future, I'm missing the present. And then when the future comes, it now becomes my present, and I'm missing the next future or the next present at that moment. And ultimately, we can go all the way to the end of our lives and never have lived it all. Yeah. Because we're never focused now. We're always thinking about either worrying about the future or regretting the past. So, I think if you have intention that you can create the future at this moment in time, you are by default focused on the present.
Yeah. Beautifully said. Thank you for that. Any final piece of advice before we start sharing information on how people can find you?
It goes back to, I wouldn't be where I'm at if I didn't take action. I mean, I've got to think about it when the dog has puppies, when grandma moves out, when I get my new apartment, when I get my new clothes, when right now I'm traveling. So we always find these perilous delays in progression. Life is never going to be this clean road. Nothing's going on. And so the three things I would leave everybody with. I'm going to give you what kills the entrepreneur path.
Okay.
As soon as ... And a close cousin is, I'm getting ready to get going. I know people getting ready to get going for 3 years. And the third thing is they get stuck in creative mode. They're always working on things, but doing nothing.
Yes.
Or not productive. I'm getting ready to get going to the gym. Well, go. It's open right now. I mean, just go. So I think that's it. I think that it keeps them in a comfort zone. And as you know, being an entrepreneur is not comfortable. You have to do things that you'd rather not do. And so that's what I'd leave everybody with is, life's a blink. It goes by just like that. So the sooner you get going, the sooner you're going to have the majority of that remaining time of your life to enjoy the new version of you.
Yeah. And that's so powerful, Jim, and so true, because every day that you don't, you delay it even more. And that day becomes a week, and that week becomes a month, and that month becomes a quarter, and that quarter becomes a year, and that year becomes a decade. And if anyone would have said to me 10 years ago, Diane, you're not going to believe your life 10 years from now, awards and bestseller and, all the things, I would have said you're crazy. And I started so sloppily. I still start sloppily. I just start, and figure it out as I build the plane as I fly it. And I talk to people I know. I know I'm preaching to the choir, but the same thing in my world with my coaching clients. I don't pull. I'm not pulling. If I have to pull you to enroll, I am not going to work with you, because that means I have to pull you to work with you. And I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. And you've got to be able to get the support. Like you just said, surround yourself with people like you and me who say, I'll believe in you. I'm going to carry the weight of believing in you until you believe in you enough. Right. I'm able to do that. But you've got to be able to step up and do the work. You've got to be able to take action, like you said. So that's really, really good. Well, it's really been a privilege and an honor to have you here today. And I'm so grateful that we connected, and, we're on this journey together, and I know that we'll be doing more things together. So
yes, we will. And thank you to all of, the listeners. I mean, you are, world-class across the board, and, you walk your talk. It's authentic, it's transparent. And, as we all progress, you're more selective who you involve yourself with, because it increases everything when you're able to create that collective energy of everybody together.
Yeah, agreed. Well, thank you so much, Jim Lutes, everybody. Make sure you follow him. So we're going to put up links for you right now. Where can people find out more information about you? Tell this for our podcast listeners.
Sure. They can go to lutesinternational.com. It's got what I'm doing and what I'm up to in terms of training, etc. And then go subscribe at mindmotionacademy.com. I mean, we have 45 to start. Just Diane's course alone. Oh, come on. I mean, is it worth the price of a salad? I mean, of course it is. So go do that.
I'd say yes.
Oh yeah. So go take a whopping $15.99. Go to mindmotionacademy.com. You'll have access to live events, courses that will change every area of your life with a push of a button. We'd be honored to have you as a subscriber as well. So that's where they can find me, and I'm happy to get on the phone. I'm old school to the point to where I'm happy to jump on the phone, and you're not bothering me, and I'm happy to chat.
That's fabulous. Well, thank you so much for your time today and for everything that you're doing in this world. It really means a lot. And I know I'll be talking to you soon. All right. Take care. All right. Bye. Oh, so great. So incredible. I tell you guys, we bring in here at I Have Today, consistently that, people like Jim Lutes. If you haven't been here, if you're new to this show, by the way, I didn't say this at the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. If this is your first time here, I want to say welcome. I hope that you will subscribe, rate, review, follow, do all the things, because we're rapidly approaching our 100th episode. I want to say might be 95. I should know this number, but I don't. But it's close to 100 episodes. Just, powerful people like Jim, and always inspiring, empowering, and educating you, always giving you instant actionable things that you can do in your life right now to live to your highest, greatest, fullest potential, and the best resources in the world, the best of the best. And so if you have been here before, I want to say welcome back and thank you for your continued support. That means a lot to me. Some of our recent episodes, you guys, were I've been focused a lot on the mind, right? The brain. It's everything. Mindset is everything. It truly is. And it's running your life, like Jim was saying. And you need to, unlock it, be able to unlock your opportunity for building a life that you want. And it could be anything that you want. And so stop, the shoulda, woulda, coulda, stop the as soon as, stop, I'm getting ready to, stop, staying stuck in creator mode, or when I just get this certification, that's another one that I see a lot. Just stop it. Stop. Get with somebody who can help you with the mindset stuff, and then get with somebody like me who can help you with the strategy. Stop taking more things, thinking you need to fill yourself with more and more and more. And sit down with me and book a session with me so we can do the strategy and take all the amazing facets of this diamond that you are and help you identify what makes you so unique, your unique ability. What's that core anchor, that message, that thing that you do so differently than everybody else out there? Like Jim, he was saying, Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins and all these people who are here in San Diego, but he's the only one doing what he's doing with his hypnosis. He's one of a kind, making massive impact. You could be doing the same thing. So stop doing all of those things, trying to copy everybody else, and first figure out who you are and how you want to serve in this world. All right, that's my little rant. I wanted to say some other episodes we had. We had on overcoming your fear of rejection with Rhonda Britton a few weeks ago. We had on Lisa Williams. We talked about, are you addicted to approval? And we had Tracy McCubbin on, and she was the declutter expert. And we were talking about what does clutter do to your brain? So a lot of mindset shows we've had back to back to back. So as well as if you missed my 2-part series I did on the top 50 mindset hacks to unlimited potential, or unlimited power, I believe. Unlimited power, sorry. That's there for you too. In the first episode, I featured 20 people, idols, influencers in my life and how they've impacted my life. And then the second part 2 was people I've had on my show. So in the future, when I do something like that again, Jim will definitely be one of them. Rhonda will be, some of the guests that I just named. I'll bring on the best of what I've learned from them. And then some of my own personal hacks. So the things that have had massive impact in my life. So those are just some of the previous episodes that we had. Now, a couple more things before we go, and stay till the end because we only have a few more minutes left. I don't want you to miss the mantra meditation. I want to share with you, as a TV host, I've been hosting my own show for 5 years. I've been in the advertising and television industry for almost 40 years. And I know what having a television show has done for my career. And I want that for you. If you're an entrepreneur, an expert, a professional, and you want to elevate your brand and your business, you want to be known as the go-to expert in your industry and how to stand out. It's certainly helped me, and it continues to help me every single day. And look at the amazing guests I get to have on my show. Then I'm going to invite you to register for my free opt-in. It's called The 7 Secrets to Become a TV Star Host. And I'm going to share with you the 7 secrets that I discovered you need to be a dynamic host. And it's a lot easier than you think. You just need the right strategy and structure. And so I give that to you in this free downloadable PDF, this document where you're going to get the 7 secrets. So it is at tvhostmaker.com/secrets. tvhostmaker.com/secrets. So be sure to check that out. All right, we're getting ready to do our mantra. I need a little sip of water. And I wanted to say, if you're not already, please do subscribe to us and follow us. We're everywhere. We are on the E360 TV network, streaming live, and all my shows are there. I Have Today, on the Fresh Takes channel, I Have Today with Diane Forster. Also on YouTube, subscribe there. I Have Today with Diane Forster. But you can also find the replays on Twitter, on LinkedIn, on Facebook, and you can also find them on Hulu and Roku and Amazon and Apple. So we're everywhere. So check it out. I Have Today with Diane Forster. All right. So what we're going to do with our last couple of minutes, because we only do have a couple of minutes, is normally I do a deeper breathing exercise, but I don't have the time for that today. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to ask you to follow me for 2 breaths. I'm going to have you breathe in for 4, and I'm going to have you pull that air all the way down to your tailbone. Hold it for the count of 8, and then blow it out for 8 seconds. And I want you to blow it out like you're blowing out birthday candles, all right? Just do that 2 times, and then just listen to my words. So here we go. If you're driving, obviously don't close your eyes. Everybody else, close your eyes. Put your feet flat on the floor, hands on your lap. Keep them down if you feel grounded. Turn them up if you feel like you need more energy. And then just listen to my words. All right, so here we go. Breathe in for the count of 4. Hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And blow it out for 8 like you're blowing out birthday candles. Should feel really good. Let's do that again. Breathe in for 4. Hold it for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blow it out for 8. I have today to love my life. Something really good is going to happen to me today. I can feel it. Miracles, big and small. I notice them all. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. I have today to unlock my mind from what's holding me back. No more excuses. I'm not going to allow myself to continue to be the victim in my own life. I'm the only one who has the power to change it, but I don't have to do it alone. There are resources available. People like Jim Lutes who can help me unlock what's holding me back. Let go of those limiting beliefs, all of those habits and emotions and things that I can't see or hear, but are holding me back. No matter how hard I try on my own, on a conscious level, they still keep showing up. There's nothing wrong with me. There's absolutely nothing wrong with me. I just need the key to unlock it, unlock my full potential. I know I'm here for a reason, to do really great things, to serve the world in a really great way, to live abundantly and fearlessly, and to go after my goals, dreams, and desires. Because all I have is today, and I'm not going to waste another moment of my life putting it off till someday or one day, or as soon as or continue to get ready, to get going, or get one more course under my belt, or take one more class, or go to one more seminar. No, that all stops today. I am perfectly capable of creating anything and everything I want from where I stand right here today. Nothing else needs to change. What I need to do is surround myself and get the help from the people who believe in me more than I believe in myself. I need to take action, and I'm going to move with determination instead of doubt. I'm going to decide right here and now, today, that this is the day that I changed my life forever. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank my amazing guest, Jim Lutes, for being here today. I want to thank you, my beautiful audience, for showing up. I feel your love and support. Thank you for your reviews, your comments, your likes, your shares. Thank you for showing up. Please do check out my other episodes if you haven't caught them yet. I promise they will inspire, empower, and educate you through your life. And I will see you next time. I'm Diane Forster. Take care. Bye-bye.